Okay. Good day, my beloved members in my group. I'm here to present my paper on emotional and behavior disorders. That is the topic I chose because I have experience on it, and I have witnessed some emotional and behavior disorders from the class before. So in the first place, what is emotional and behavior disorders? Emotional and behavior disorders is a condition which generates behavioral issues in the classroom. It falls under the category of emotional disturbances. It is associated with mental health or severe abnormal behavior issues in a child, where you see a child begin to behave somehow, in fact, distracting other children in the class. So let's talk about common traits. That is to say, we have so many of them, but the ones I could pick on my research is they are the National Dissemination Center for Children with Disabilities, often referred to as NICI. They list 6 important types of these emotional disturbances: anxiety disorders, where a child is very anxious, and where a child is very anxious in the class, when you introduce a topic, the child will overact. Then we have bipolar disorder that comes with anger. In fact, a child, that's one, I have experienced it in a child of 6 years old in the class. A child thinks that people around him are going to harm him. Is a advanced level of depression. Maybe the parents annoyed the child from home. He comes with that annoyance or with that despair in his heart or her heart. He comes in and starts behaving the way he behaves in the class, with anger. And then conduct disorders, where a child begins to behave very abnormally in a way that you can't believe this child could behave like that. We also have eating disorders. Eating disorders where a child sees food, he cannot eat. In fact, because of this pick this one, pick that one, that he will end up not being able to eat food, really eat well. We have atresia nervosa, anorexia nervosa, where like this anorexia nervosa is where a child fears of getting fat, so he doesn't eat. We have obsessive compulsive disorder and a psychotic disorder. All these are common traits of emotional and behavioral disorder in the class. We have some challenges that this behavior brings in the class. You see, these are the characteristics a teacher might see in a child in the classroom. You know, a child will begin to disturb in the class anyhow. And you see a child beginning to cry unnecessarily in the class. A child will lack concentration. A child is not free to mix up with other peers in the class. A child will be so playful, in fact, not willing to copy notes. Sometimes you see careless attitude in the class. You give assignment, a child will not even care whether he does that assignment or not. You give homework, a child takes the homework to the house. Parents will not even care to help the child do the homework. The child will still come back without doing the homework. You ask the child, why didn't you do my homework? The child cannot speak. She or he won't speak up. He will just look at you like that. In fact, if you ask too much, the child will begin to cry unnecessarily. Sometimes you see a child go to a corner and sit, refusing to participate in the class. That's always, those are the characters that a teacher sees. in children with the emotional behavior disorder in the classroom, then there are some barriers in achieving academic success. Those kind of children, they cannot achieve academic success in that an inability to learn that cannot be explained by intellectual, sensory, or health factors. The child will not be able to learn. Like the one that happened yesterday in my class, I gave a kind of quiz in the class. All the time, we've taken about 3 days on a particular topic. This child that has this emotional and behavior disorder, in fact, little did I discover that the child did not take in anything because of that behaviors he's been showing up in the class, a nonchalant attitude, careless. The child goes home with my homework, come back without doing it. And inability to build or maintain satisfaction interpersonal relationships with peers and teachers. In fact, it's not comfortable where you group him, okay, go and ask a friend for this. The child will not be comfortable at all. And also inappropriate types of behavior or feelings under normal circumstances. A general pervasive mood of unhappiness or depression. This particular child I'm talking about, always very sad. He's not talking in the class. He feels depressed so many times. Also, there's a tendency to develop physical symptoms or fears associated with personal or school problems. Any topic we introduce in the class that seems to pose problem, this child will not be able, he will not even show interest. So these are the barriers that you will see a child with emotional or behavior disorder in the class. So these things will occur to them. Also, what a teacher can do to help these children. For example, I have a child in my class. His name is Ubong. I just put this up so that you will see, just figure out Ubong in your mind right now. Ubong has a kind of mental health issue. Ubong will stay in the classroom, we will teach, I will present the topic in the class, teaching. Ubong will listen with others, but you don't know that he's not taking in anything. That thing you see in Ubong's hand is a pen. You see ruler in the other hand. He will just take pen to his mouth, put pen in his mouth, and begin to shout in the classroom. All the children will distract other children. Even all other children will fear what is happening. I will tell Ubong, what is the problem? Okay, Ubong, sit up. I will give you something to draw. Ubong is very talented with drawing. If you give Ubong a house, Ubong, draw this house. See the picture of this house, Ubong draw. Ubong will draw it. That is he's talented in that. So already the parent present to us that Ubong has this mental issue. So we follow up with Ubong with visuals in the classroom and help him. If you put something on the board for Ubong to write, Ubong, write this thing, I will give you something to draw. Ubong will copy what you write on the board. Ubong will copy correctly, accurately, but he will stay in the class and be making some sounds to distract other children and even distract us, and we will even begin to fear. So in one of the accommodations to this kind of children in the class, accommodations, let me tell, is there are necessary steps a teacher could provide in the class in order to help the students assess the curriculum and have academic success. So this behavior modification can involve strategies such as positive reinforcement and incentives to help students learn behaviors that are less disruptive and more socially acceptable. For example, I have about 6 of those kind of students in my class, I put up strategies to help them learn, like Onome in my class. That one, she is suffering from a kind of fear. She doesn't talk to her peers. She doesn't talk to other children anyhow. I will keep Onome. Okay, I will ask a question. Onome, answer this question. Onome will lift up hand, answer, and I will tell her peers to clap for Onome. Clap for Onome. Tell Onome, you are very intelligent. With that, Onome will begin to give some smiles in the class, and from there, we'll begin to participate. I put up other strategies for those other children in the class, and at the end, I will come up with a success. These children learn, they are able to cope with the curriculum. In fact, the last test I gave last week, about 4 of those 6 children performed very well. I was happy about it. So thank you very much for listening, dear classmates.